Welcome back to LFC Transfer Hub, your ultimate home for all things Liverpool. Today we've got huge transfer drama and breaking news. The Reds will return to Premier League action against the Clarets on Sunday afternoon in a 2 p.m. British summertime kickoff. Special: Liverpool target still considering his future as Reds could make January swoop. Liverpool agrees to new contract with defender after Guehi move collapsed. Let's dive in, Reds. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with every twist and turn in the transfer window. The Reds will return to Premier League action against the Clarets on Sunday afternoon in a 2 p.m. British summertime kickoff. Here are 12 facts to know ahead of the fixture. Liverpool have won 8 of their 9 away Premier League matches at Turf Moor, 1 loss, including the last 6 in a row. They have also kept a clean sheet in each of their last 4 away games against the Clarets. The Reds have won 7 away top-flight matches in a row against 3 teams previously: West Bromwich Albion, 8 between 1983 and 2009, Norwich City, 8 between 1995 and 2021. And Crystal Palace, 7 between 2016 and 2022. Liverpool are looking to win their opening 4 Premier League games in a season for a third time, also doing so in 2018-19, finished second, and 2019-20, champions. Arne Slot's side have scored in 37 consecutive Premier League matches, the club's longest run in top-flight history. Only Tottenham Hotspur, 39 in a row, March 2023 to March 2024, and Arsenal, 55, May 2001 to November 2002, have scored in more games in a row. This will be Burnley manager Scott Parker's first league contest versus Liverpool since losing 9-0 with AFC Bournemouth back in August 2022. He has beaten the Reds before, however, a 1-0 win in March 2021, and could become the second manager to beat both Jurgen Klopp and Slot in the Premier League, along with Marco Silva. Florian Wirtz has made the most off-ball runs in the Premier League this season, 92, and has also made the most runs into the attacking third, 42, and most runs ahead of the ball, 26. Alexander Isak could make his Liverpool debut in this match. Between 2022-23 and 2024-25, only 2 players scored more Premier League goals than he did, 54. Cody Gakpo has had a hand in 8 goals across his last 9 Premier League appearances against newly promoted sides, 5 goals, 3 assists. 2 players, Hugo Ekitike and Rio Nguemaha, have scored on their debuts this season, with 1946-47 the last time more Reds players scored on their top-flight debuts in one campaign. Len Carney, Billy Liddell, Albert Stubbins, Cyril Dunn, Billy Watkinson. Following their 2-0 win over Sunderland, Burnley will be looking to start a top-flight campaign with back-to-back home victories for just a second time, previously doing so in their debut season in the Premier League, winning their first 4 at Turf Moor in 2009-10. Liverpool have lost just 2 of their last 28 Premier League games that have come immediately after an international break, 21 wins, 5 draws. Special: Liverpool target still considering his future as Reds could make January swoop. The Reds had a record-breaking summer after spending just shy of £450 million, with their first-team squad now one that looks capable of retaining their Premier League title. However, as with any team, there are still a few gaps that, ideally, they would have liked to fill, but the ideal candidates were not quite available to them this time around. That does not mean an opening will not arise in the near future, and there is one player in particular who could be out the door sooner than people would have thought. And, if Liverpool are as interested as the reports state, they could make a move as early as January in the hope that he can get them over the line in the back end of the season. Rodrigo willing to leave Real Madrid in January. There is no denying the quality of players the Reds have added to their squad this summer, but the slight worry would be just how many important players they have lost, too. One of the biggest departures was that of Luis Diaz, with the Colombian winger joining Bayern Munich for £65.5 million even though he was integral to Arne Slot's team last season. Liverpool believe Rio Nguemaha is good enough to step up, hence why they have not signed a replacement, although Real Madrid's Rodrigo was heavily linked with a move. But, according to Team Talk, the Brazilian winger could be on the move when the January transfer window opens if he does not receive enough playing time, suggesting the Reds could still make a move. Rodrigo is said to still be mindful of his future, with new manager Xabi Alonso clearly not being his biggest fan in the world due to the lack of minutes he has given him thus far. Labeled as a special player by his former coach Carlo Ancelotti, Rodrigo would likely cost around €100 million, £86.5 million, although this could decrease by the time the new year rolls around. Liverpool would likely wait until the summer to sign Rodrigo. Based on all of the links, it is clear that Liverpool are strong admirers of the 24-year-old, but the interest cannot be that strong if they are so hesitant to make a move. The left-wing position was one of the more obvious positions that they needed after selling Diaz, yet they went down the route of bringing in a new striker, and even attempted to sign another defender. So, with that said, they clearly have a lot of faith in Guehi and believe he is the future, so changing their stance in January does not seem likely unless the price is significantly lower. The 17-year-old has also proven himself every time he has had the chance, so in rotation with Cody Gakpo, Liverpool should be able to see out the season with these two as their options. Liverpool agrees to new contract with defender after Marc Guehi move collapsed. Liverpool came close to signing Marc Guehi on deadline day, but the transfer collapsed at the last minute, and now the club is cracking on with its existing options. Liverpool is continuing to make moves to future-proof its defense despite the deadline day collapse of a transfer for Marc Guehi. The club is doing its best to ensure the back line is strong enough both now and in the future. In the medium term, another move for Guehi is likely. Though it may be a negotiating stance, word out of the club is that Liverpool will not return in January, but will rather seek to sign the England international on a free transfer next summer. But Arne Slot and Richard Hughes will not sit idly until then. For one thing, Giovanni Leone had already been signed before the Guehi saga, so the club did not completely fail to reinforce the defense. Leone's arrival marked a one-in, one-out approach, following the departure of Jarell Quansah to Bayer Leverkusen. In that sense, Liverpool is no weaker than it was last season, when Slot claimed the title in his first campaign, although the 18-year-old recruit is yet to be put through his paces in the Premier League. Speaking of Quansah, the club also made sure to place a buyback clause in his deal. Should he continue his progress in the Bundesliga, then Liverpool will have an automatic candidate to replace Virgil van Dijk a few years down the line. But with Ibrahima Konate's future beyond this season looking increasingly uncertain, there's no denying that Liverpool has to start thinking a few steps ahead for a long-term roadmap at centre-back. Eventually, landing Guehi would ease some of that pressure, but there is more work to be done. And that work goes all the way down to youth level. Liverpool will be hopeful that some internal candidates are not too far away from becoming viable solutions. The signing of Amara Nallo from West Ham in 2023 was much heralded, and Slot handed him a Champions League debut last season, although it ended with a red card. He is still just 18, and will be hopeful of chances in the domestic cups this season. But as ever at Liverpool, competition is never far away. The club recently agreed a contract with another 18-year-old, Emmanuel Aroboma. He has represented Liverpool since U12 level, and this is his first professional deal. Having previously played with the U18s, Aroboma is expected to move into the U21s setup for the coming season. Should he impress there, a call-up to Slot's team does not look altogether impossible. Indeed, Aroboma may be among a small crop of players who were pleased to see Guehi's deadline day deal fall through. With Van Dijk, Konate, Guehi and Leone, there would have been precious little room for opportunities, even in the cups. As it is, a pathway has remained open. And of course, injuries can quickly change the picture. Aroboma need only seek out Reece Williams at the AXA training center to be reminded of that fact. But Liverpool's plan with Aroboma will be a long-term one. Van Dijk is 34, Konate is stalling on a new deal, and neither Guehi nor an eventual return for Quansah are by any means certainties. This new professional deal places a handful of eggs in a new basket. Whatever happens, it's a massive achievement for the young defender to have made it to this stage. Very few make the grade at Anfield, but he has just moved one step closer to making that dream a reality. Liverpool confident of Mark Guehi transfer swoop. Liverpool confident of Mark Guehi transfer swoop. B. Charlie Campbell September 11, 2025. Mark Guehi Crystal Palace. According to Caught Offside, Liverpool are confident of signing Crystal Palace defender Mark Guehi on a free transfer at the end of the campaign. The Merseyside heavyweights were on the cusp of landing the England international from the Eagles on deadline day. The centre-back underwent a medical with the Reds, but Palace pulled the plug on the £35 million deal as they could not find a suitable replacement. Caught Offside now claim that Guehi is likely to see out the remainder of the season before leaving Palace on a free transfer when his contract expires next summer. There has been speculation of Real Madrid interest, but Liverpool remain confident that they are leading the race, having agreed on personal terms earlier this month. Likely deal. Guehi has established himself as one of the best central defenders for club and country. The Englishman was on the verge of securing a dream move to Anfield on September 1, but Palace cancelled the agreement due to their inability to replace him with a quality recruit. The 25-year-old was not pleased by Palace's handling of the situation and could give up on the captaincy when Palace returned to action after the international break. His future will be away from Selhurst Park next year, and the Reds have a clear advantage in the race. Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk are the guaranteed starters for the Premier League holders in the heart of the defence, but the former could be on the move next summer. His contract expires on June 30 and contract talks have stalled in recent months. Guehi will be aware of the situation. The £39 million rated star could be a regular starter at right centre-back for the Reds next season. Hence, it appears a no-brainer decision for the club to return for his services. Guehi is unlikely to snub the prospect of joining them on a free transfer. Madrid have been mentioned as potential contenders for his signature, but they have other plans in mind. They are keeping close contact with Konate's entourage and could negotiate a pre-contract with the Frenchman as early as the winter transfer window. Man United can hijack Liverpool move for transfer target who wouldn't turn them down. Ex-Manchester United striker Louis Saha believes his former club could swoop for Crystal Palace captain Mark Guehi, after his move to Liverpool collapsed. Guehi looked set to become the Reds' 11th signing of the summer window on transfer deadline day until the Eagles pulled the plug on the move at the last minute. Saha believes all bets on Guehi's future are now off and that the Red Devils could steal a march on their fierce rivals and hijack any future deal the England centre-back has with Liverpool. The ex-Fulham striker also reckons Guehi would jump at the chance to join United. Guehi had already agreed personal terms with Liverpool and completed a medical as his £35 million transfer looked all but finalised. Yet it's understood that Palace boss Oliver Glasner threatened to quit if his skipper left, leaving Palace owner Steve Parish no choice but to block the deal. Guehi is in the last year of his Palace contract, meaning the club will have to cash in on him in January or let him leave free in the summer. The player is reportedly not interested in signing a new deal. Meanwhile, United boss Ruben Amorim is determined to make his favoured 3-4-3 formation work at Old Trafford after a poor start to the new season. Saha thinks Guehi, who has experience playing in a back three for Palace, could be a key addition for Amorim as he looks to reverse United's failing fortunes. Mark Guehi is very strong, very solid, very reliable, quick and a good leader. There is a lot of quality in that boy. I do think that he is the type of player who can really help Manchester United's season, the Frenchman said to FlashScore. It's definitely an opportunity to hijack this and stop Liverpool getting stronger. It would be a smart move. I don't think he would turn down United if the bid goes in correctly. There will be only 6 months left on this contract, there is definitely an opportunity there. Guehi was reported to be disappointed that his move to the Premier League champions didn't materialise. There is now an expectation that Palace will attempt to sell Guehi in January as they look to recoup some funds for their talisman after missing out on the £35 million Liverpool would have given them. Liverpool had been expected to return with a new bid at the start of 2026, but it is now suggested they will bide their time as the Reds believe Guehi is determined to make the move to Merseyside. The Anfield side are facing life without centre-back Ibrahima Konate, who is out of contract next summer, while veteran defender Joe Gomez is expected to move on, after almost leaving the club this year. However, Guehi is also able to talk to overseas clubs from the start of next year about a pre-contract agreement. Despite the shock of his move stalling, Guehi looks to have quickly put the drama behind him and was back in the lineup for England as the Three Lions hammered Serbia 5-0 on Tuesday. He scored the fourth in Belgrade as Thomas Tuchel's side put one foot in next summer's World Cup. Asked by ITV how the last 8 days had gone since his transfer collapsed, Guehi seemed surprisingly upbeat. "It's been great," he said. "It's always easy coming here, such a good group of players, good group of staff. We are all working towards one goal."
Thanks for watching. Like and comment and subscribe.